Hi, Teresa Phelps Martin and Lulu, coming to you live via the virtually you, because that's what it feels like. It feels like virtually you, the soulfully you, virtual space. And you know, I'd rather not spend time here. I'd rather dive in. So I am going to say thank you all to who are live, who are showing up, and however this is finding you. But I'm just going to go straight to the mat today. It feels important to do it. So I'm just going to speak to you from this space. A couple of things. Lulu is that reminder of all the love that's available to you. No matter where you are, no matter how you're doing, it's ever present. It sits within you. And that's what the whole idea of Space for Grace is about, is this importance to pause, to listen, to tune in. And I understand that sometimes when we slow down and we go inward, it is such a version that we're not familiar with that it can appear scary, okay? And especially when we're grieving or we're experiencing loss or we know of someone who is going through loss. So I just want to pause with a moment of silence to whomever you may know. For those of you who did yoga with me on Tuesday mornings, and Marianne was there. Her husband has crossed over. He's no longer with us. And when our heart shatters in that way, it's not about picking up the pieces and moving forward yet. It's about holding that space for grace, that glue, that part that when our heart fragments into many, 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 many tiny, tiny parts, we can know that it will never come back together in the same way. And so we're not trying to reassemble what was, and that's what's so painful. What would have been, what could have been, but we really listen. And so we're going to bring our hands to our own heart. We call on the highest. We draw a circle around ourselves, our space, our being, our homes. And we place grace into that space. Perhaps inwardly is a cacophony of chaos. Perhaps it is a time of great celebration. Perhaps it is just a moment where we see and honor the wounds of our own heart, but we listen for the longing of our soul. Feel a deeper connection to your breath in and your breath out. Feel that moment of going inward, of listening, of witnessing all there is, and then breathing life back into it. When you inhale, pause at the top of your inhale and just connect to the beat of your heart. And then exhale, release. Let go of whether or not you could feel the connection to the beat of your heart, but know that you get to breathe again. So inhaling in again. Pausing, and this time opening yourself at the top of the inhale, feeling more expansive to receive, that you're creating the space for grace to come into every cell of your being. And then exhaling all the way out. And then welcoming in the breath once more. Standing in that light at the top of your inhale, full of the greatest resource we all have, the breath that sustains each and every one of us. And allowing that energy and awareness to dissolve as you exhale all the way out. Allow for the breath, the mystery to dance inward and outward. That the wisdom of your truth can reveal itself. And it's not so much that we're here for everything. We're on our mats to move our bodies, to connect to that part and piece of ourselves that we know will restore and renew and revitalize. But that at this moment, in this time that we practice, as we connect to the narrative of our true selves, as we collect the data and the evidence, our physicality, the habits and the patterns that we engage in, that we can listen more for the wisdom, the revelations, and that's the idea of space for grace. We're going to come onto our hands and knees, but first allow your head to bow down. Honor that light within. Allow your palms to turn up. Open your eyes, looking into the palms of your own two hands. We're going to come to our hands and knees. And as you come to hands and knees, just feel the connection of your body. Right? There's such a pattern of being on our mat. The pattern of being home. The pattern for me of being in this space. A new pattern, though, of being in this space without kids. As your hands are grounded, you're going to exhale, round the back. As you round the back, though, we're going to stretch all the way into child's pose. And then you're going to inhale, come all the way up into a cat pose, into kind of this version of upward dog. And then as you exhale, pull into the belly, round the back, push your hips back into a version of child's pose. Inhaling, coming up, filling up the back body, opening the heart into that version of a chest opener. Lift up through the belly and move back. Inhale, rise. And open the heart. This time as the heart's open, bend the elbows, and you're going to melt. So as I teach this class, I'm going to teach it not so much from real time, but the understanding of what a closing square is. It's the time of integration. Pick your feet up, circle your ankles, wiggle your toes out. Walk your hands wide, come to your fingertips. Stretch the legs out, push the tops of the feet to the floor, elbows rise up. We're going to really work with the domes of the body. Arms plug in, thigh bones plug in. Inhale, curling the heart open into cobra. Exhale, bowing down. Inhale, lifting the legs. Just 3 times. Exhale, legs ground. Inhale, curl the heart up. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift the legs. Listening to the wisdom of the body coming through. Inhale, opening. Exhale, bowing. Inhale, legs rise. Exhale, hands come under the shoulders. Push into the earth. Lift up through a table, all the way back, downward dog. Keep the knees bent, and then even bend the elbows. Draw into the core, shoulders drawn to the back, hug to the midline, and then expand. You're going to turn your feet to the left, bend both knees, get a big stretch through the left side of the body. Bring the right knee to the earth. Stretch the left arm by your ear. Push into the feet. So we're going to sit back into the inner thighs, draw into the core, and then stretch the arm long. Okay, we're going to do that 2 more times. Draw in, pulling into this energy of your being, collecting the data of how you can narrate, how you can allow what needs to dissolve, and reawaken. Inhale, stretch long, open the heart, draw the shoulders into the back, open the throat, and then exhale, hand to the earth, back knee lifts, draw the right knee into the heart, inhale, plank. Knees to the earth, exhale, round the back. So if you're going into a child's pose, inhale, lift the heart, curl it open as if you're going into upward dog. Draw into the belly, pull into your core, push it back. Inhale, rise, open the heart. So I want to repeat things today so we can really get into the place of listening, of receiving, and tuning in. We're going to draw into the belly, move all the way back. Inhale, rise up, open the heart, melts all the way to the earth. Hands go wide, elbows lift up, shoulders draw in. Inhale, curl the heart. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift the legs. Exhale. So moving through these gecko cobras, connecting to your breath. Feeling the top and the bottom of the breath and how the 2 sides of the breath are really one. Feet ground down, hands ground down, rise up, tuck the toes, downward dog. Knees are bent, elbows are bent. Pull into the core and then hug all the way through to the midline. Turn your feet to the right. Bend the knees, stretching through that right sideline. Getting the shoulders into the back, keeping the underarms lifted. Connect into that dome of the heart, the diaphragm, the pelvic floor. Is it too swinging out? Is it too tucked under? And then exhale. Knee to the earth, hand to the ground. You're going to draw up, pivot the back heel. So knees bend, you're sitting back, getting long, getting connected. Plug in, and then inhale, stretch the arm. Exhale, knees bend, drawing in. Inhale, stretching long. Exhaling, knees bend, drawing in. Inhale, stretching long, opening the heart, opening the throat. Full breath in. And then exhale, hand to the earth. Spin the back heel up. Knee comes to your heart. Into plank. Knees to the ground. Exhale, round, like you're going into child's pose. Inhale, rise up, open the heart. Sweep through. Draw into the belly. Exhale, pull back. Inhale, rise, open your heart. So feeling each time we come into this pattern, we initiated something new. Exhale all the way to the ground. We're sustaining it and eventually it'll come to a close. Hands go wide, elbows lift. Inhale, curl up. Be more connected to the breath. Hands under your shoulders, toes tuck. Push up, move all the way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. As you're here in this dog pose, connect into the fullness of you. Bend the elbows, bend the knees if you need to. Again, hug back into the midline by plugging more fully into your truth. Inhale, lift the heels, walk the feet forward. Both feet beneath you, and exhale, bow. 3 breaths. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bow down. Connect to the wholeness of your being. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bow. Inhale.
And exhale, bend the knees, push the feet to the ground, draw them to the core, roll the spine up vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale the arms up overhead, lift up and over to the right. Inhale, come through the center, left knee lifts. Hold on to the eye of the left knee, plug the thigh bone in, pause here. Re-extend the arms up overhead and bend the right knee. So you're kind of in a, once again, I'll cut my head off. I got to deal with it. Can't handle it today. I just can't handle it. Okay, sorry for the technical interruption. We will re-engage. Hopefully you're getting a better dose of balance. So your knees lifted, you're plugged in, right knee's bent, thighs are back, ribs are pulled in. Here we go. You're going to draw into the belly and you're going to actually open up to the right. Okay, I know it's a little interesting. Inhale, come through the center. Pull back in, draw in, and then open to the right. Inhale, come up through the center. Draw in, open to the right. Now you're going to glide the left foot back. So now you ended up in a twist. Bend the knee, draw in, big breath. Open the heart, lift up. Left hand to left thigh. Sorry, right hand to left thigh. Left arm's up. Big breath in. And then exhale. Left hand to the earth. Ground the heel. Your front leg's going to scream. And then feel the twist here. Your hips are going to drop, so come back to the pelvic floor. Come back to the heart and the roof of the mouth. Find the twist. Deep breath in. And then exhale. Hands to the earth. Inhale the left leg up. Pull into the center. Draw in. As the legs hug towards each other, hands can come to your heart for a challenge. But listen, if your balance is off, listen for that. And rather than judge or terrorize your balance, just breathe. Let it be. And then exhale all the way back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into a plank pose. Elbows bend all the way to the earth. Feet point back. Maybe hands slide back, maybe not. Shoulders drawn to the back. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale all the way back. Downward facing dog. It's a playful flow. It's hopefully there to help you identify how attached you are to the way things are supposed to be. Walk your feet forward, and can you just let it go? Find both feet, and just be more present. Be in the mess of you, or the glory of you, or all of you, whatever it is, be in all of you. Exhale, bow 3 times. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold. We're going to roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Knees bend. Roll the spine up. Arms sweep up overhead. Find length. Lift up. Reach over to the left. Pushing into both feet. Arm bones are drawing in. Inhale, come back through the center. Right knee lifts, hands come around the eye of the knee. Bend both knees, plug in, okay? So as you're here, feel the connection. Thighs are drawing in. Is your pelvic floor tipping too far forward, too far back? Tailbone and pubic bone are both moving down. Back of the rib cage, front of the rib cage is moving down. Roof of the mouth lifting up. Find that length, pull into the center. Right arm forward, left arm back. I know it's a little funny, right? Inhale, come through the center. Exhale, twisting. It's an open twist. Inhale, come back through. Exhale, twist. Then you're going to glide the foot back. And then here you are. Maybe you fell. Maybe you landed with grace. Whatever it is. Make the space for you. That back hand reaches around for the back foot. Lift up. Reach back. So awkward, right? And then inhale, come up through the center. Right hand comes to the earth. Shorten the stance, ground the heel. So you're gonna already feel the legs waking up. Front leg moves towards straight, draw into the belly, open the heart. So connect, pelvic floor, low back, sternum, throat, twist. I know, nothing like, it's an open revolved triangle to start our practice. Deep breath in, and then exhale, hand to the earth, shift the weight forward, back leg is parallel, pull into the center, draw into your core, allow the heart to bow, find the breath, pause into it, maybe balance, say a prayer, offer up your practice, your efforts, hands come to the earth, foot draws back. I don't remember what we did. Downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, slowly to the ground. Pause, and then just check and listen to the body, not the mind. Your ego probably wants to do the big pose. I want it to be big on the inside, not what it looks like on the outside. I hope I've made that clear. Maybe I just need to keep repeating that every class. Big on the inside. It's how you connect to your inner self. Shoulders to your back. Inhale, open the heart. And then move all the way back. Downward dog. Little steps. Walk your feet forward. Both feet beneath you. Bow into it. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bow. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bow. Inhale, find length. Feel that expansion, just that remembrance that there's so much around you, but we're here to move inward. Exhale, bow down. Inhale through a long spine, rise all the way up. Arms sweep overhead. Find yourself standing in that light, embodying your truth, creating the space for grace, the revelatory power. How do you handle the world when the world is dying? We have to reawaken. We have to come back to this energy within. Big full breath in. Bend your knees. Sit the hips back. Uttanasana. Feel the connection into the core. And then you're going to draw the left foot up. Virabhadrasana 3, warrior 3. Draw in. Feel the steady presence to your own strength. Exhale, warrior 1. Feel that veracity, that heroic, that nobility of just arriving. Exhale, hands to the earth, front leg straight. Just a good old intense leg stretch here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Lunge forward, shift the weight forward. Inhale, come into that warrior 3 leg. Pull to the midline. Left hand to the earth or onto your fingertips. Twist into revolved half moon. Hug into that center. Stay lifted into the core. What's the pelvic floor, the diaphragm, and the roof of the mouth doing? Deep inhale in. Full breath out. Exhale the hands to the earth. Right leg goes to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip up. And then inhale, plank, right knee to the heart. Climb into plank and slowly all the way to the earth. Feet point back. Hands sweep back, shoulders to your back. Inhale, Shalabhasana. Hands come under your shoulders. Push up Chaturanga. And then inhale, Cobra or Upward Dog. All the way back, Downward Dog. Breathe fully into you, all the parts and pieces. Whether you feel recombobulated or discombobulated. Come back to the top edge of your mat. Bow, one bow this time. Push into the earth, arms go wide. Inhale, rise up. Arms sweep overhead. Exhale, Uttanasana. Steady, so thighs are moving back. Pubic bone moves back, tailbone moves down. Waistline draws back, fronts of the ribs pull to the hips. Backs of the ribs pull to the back. Shoulders are into the back. Roof of the mouth is lifted. Right knee lifts, hinge at the hips, and come into warrior three. Enjoy your breath. And through that enjoyment, reclaim the energy that's yours. Warrior one, ground the heel, feel the connection, and expand. Exhale the hands all the way to the earth. Stretch into Uttanasana. Okay, so connect here. Connect to the ribs, right? Like I already feel my left rib cage dropping into my left hip and my right over expanded. So what I'm actually doing is hugging the right rib cage more to the right hip point and then folding over, and that just woke up a whole new line in my leg. And then you're going to shift into that warrior three to prep for revolved half moon. So the foot's kicking down. Very muscular, lots of challenges. Just feel the integration. Each flow we do builds on the next. Find the length and then twist. Revolved half moon. Enjoy the breath, your connection, your practice. And then exhale, hands to the earth, downward dog. Left leg goes to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. And then you're going to come into a three-legged plank. The knee comes to the heart, you're pulling in, shoulders are to the back. Climb into plank and then descend. Feel the whole flow dissolving into the earth. Notice how it's always there for you. You never have to say, earth, catch me, I'm falling. Now, I can't say we always land with grace, but once we land, the grace is there for us. Shoulders to the back. Inhale, rise up, Shalabhasana. Hug the shoulders to the back. Feel a lift through your inner thighs. Right, keep the tailbone heavy. Don't let the pubic bone get super heavy. Hands under the shoulders, toes top. Push up chaturanga into your cobra or upward dog. And then all the way back, downward dog. Good times, right? Slowly climb the feet forward. And bow. One, expansion, that fullness. Carry the fullness with you as you go inward and bow more deeply. You can decide, you can come up through a long standing spine or roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Pull in, draw in. Sit deeper, all the way down. All the way into a squat. I know. Draw into the belly. Yes, we're going to come up standing. So it might be a little challenging. You do you. You have to trust inside. I mean, if there's one thing I have to say about being catapulted into this version of a yoga practitioner, is that I've never listened to my body as much as I have now and really honored the broken parts. So honor the parts of you that are wounded. That's what makes you human, but there's wisdom there. Draw into the center. Inhale into Uttanasana. And then we're going to glide the foot back and open into Warrior Two. I don't know. So intense. Intentional too. Push down. So remember when we did that side. Bend the knee, draw in, feel that lift, feel that length. You're going to draw in, hand to the shin or the earth, into triangle pose. Think of the pelvic floor, ribs, diaphragm, right? So it's not just the front of the ribs moving to the hips, it's the back of the ribs also moving to the hips. You're really creating that corset or that container for the energy of the heart, the space for grace. You're really acclimating and adapting to the energy of you. Find length, expand. And we're going into half moon pose. Shift the weight forward. Inhale, half moon. Feet are kicking towards each other. The pelvic floor, the diamond of your roots are anchored. The flame of the heart is alive, and the wisdom of the mind is present. Exhale all the way back, three-legged dog. Open it up. As you open it up, just decide where you want to be. Be playful. If you can come into a version of side plank, go for it. And then hand comes to the earth, knee comes to the heart, straight into your plank, all the way to the earth. There she is again. Bend both knees, reach both, actually let's go for just the right foot. Hold on to the right foot, draw in, and inhale, rise. A little variation of Shalabhasana. And then free the feet, free the hands. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. I did not do the chaturanga this time, so it's up to you. And then move it back. Downward dog. What we've done with our practice today is start at the front edge of the mat. Climb forward. Bow. Find length. Expand into the fullness of you. The recalibration of all the parts and pieces. We're not putting them back together. We're just seeing them. Seeing all the fragments of our truth that can crystallize into our authenticity. Inhale, either roll up or through a long spine. Inhale all the way out. Arms sweep overhead. Exhale into Uttanasana. And then all the way in to that squat. Maybe you just stay in Uttanasana. Use the wisdom of the last flow. Really curling in, connecting in. Notice how you're curled in, and in this particular moment, you probably don't feel very spacious on the inside. So reclaim that spaciousness. Inhale, Uttanasana. And then the foot glides back into Virabhadrasana. Adjust your stance. Breathe into the form. So the form can offer back. Each pose is a prayer, is an offering What are you offering? Into the ego or your higher self? Feet are grounded, hand to the earth. Uttanasana. Okay, so remember, ribs move in. Again, you can bend, reclaim, regroup, find the connection to those domes of your body, and then expand. I'm going to shift into half moon. Okay, so I like to lunge and heel toe the foot to be highly intentional and not just riding a wave of momentum. Believe me, I ride momentum all the time. It's that flow of energy that is divine. And then exhale, we're going to step it all the way back. Hands to the earth. Left leg lifts, bend the knee, open it up. And then again, if you can, turn your right foot. Even bend the knee. You're going to stack the knees and maybe go into side plank. Maybe not. Maybe you just stay with the hip open. Maybe you find your own creative flow. And then exhale the hand down, knee to the heart, come into plank, glide into plank, into chaturanga, straight to the earth. Bend the left knee, hand reaches back, arm moves back, opening up. And then exhale. This time, all the way to the ground. Just melt to the ground. Honor the journey. And that even here, when you're face down in the earth, you're still alive. Breathe into the beat of your heart. You're going to lift the head. We're going to bend both knees. Reach the hands for the feet. Shoulders drawn to the back. Hug into the midline. And then inhale, Dhanurasana. Exhale, bow down. Hands under the shoulders. Rise up onto your hands and knees. Come standing on your knees. Okay, if you can sit all the way back on your feet for a moment, go for it so you can ground. I want you to feel this connection of wrapping in, of holding this connection to our souls. So our rib and hips are drawing in this way. They're also drawing together this way. So you're using the opposing energy to find that center. Come up standing. From this standing, rise up. Yeah, we're going to do Camel Pose. It's just such a great embodiment of devotion. But you meet yourself in Uttanasana where you need to be. Again, I want you to think of the pelvic floor, the diaphragm, the palate of the mouth. Those are the energies that we're connecting. The diamond, the flame, the wisdom, the truth that we speak, that we live, and we want to feel the truth inwardly and outwardly. So make the inner world more of a priority. Drawing in, opening the heart, moving in, shoulders to the back, hearts open. Lift from behind the heart, inhale, come all the way up. Hands come to the earth, right knee comes forward, cross the left leg behind it.
Okay, once you cross the left leg behind it, you're gonna slide your right foot forward and sit. I know it's an overly fancy transition that's not necessary. So come into the seat where both hips can be grounded for you. As you're grounded, find the length. And in that length, you're gonna twist. Pelvic floor, diaphragm, roof of the mouth. Stretch the right arm out if you like. Hug into that center and then interlace the two hands. Thumbs are pointed up, fingers are interlaced. Core is drawing in, shoulders are on the back. Inhale, come back through the center. Free the left leg. Open the right knee. Hips are square. Spine is long. Find the length. Arms overhead. Hug into that midline. Both legs are grounded. And bow. Head to knee pose, maybe, right? We've done a lot of gecko arms. Know that these are always available to you. Exhale out completely, find length. Inhale, rise up. Left knee bends. Right foot moves back. You didn't have to do some kind of fancy transition this time. And if you wanted to do 3 rounds of Camel Pose, you could have crossed over, step back, downward dog, find Camel Pose, and then join us. Just because these are available, these are accessible to you if you ever come back to them. Draw in, find length. Okay, as you find that length, find the connection. Left arm stretches back, draw in, ribs are drawing in, feeling that breath, and then the hand comes in, interlaces, so you're holding that energy, you're holding that midline, and breathing. Inhale, come back through the center. Right leg stretches out. Left foot opens to the side. Find the support you need. Then inhale the arms up. Both hips are grounded. So connect to the pelvic floor. It's a really sacred space. We usually keep it our private parts that people don't like to talk about. But we have to remember it's access to our vitality. It's this access to our roots, how we can nourish. Okay, it is the passageway that we all cross through, maybe, to come into this world. Okay, and so it's the point of individuation. So we don't want to ignore it, no matter if you're a man or a woman. So feel, is the pelvic floor, what is it doing? What is that dome? Is it flat? Is it collapsed? Is one side extending more than the other? Draw in, arms rise up, find that length, and then exhale, oh my gosh, and bow. Ground down, inhale, find length, inhale, rise up. Stretch both legs out long. As both legs stretch out long, anchor into both hips, draw in. You're gonna walk your sit bones back, okay? Your thigh bones plug in more, so there's support of that pelvic floor. You're gonna find the length through the spine, shoulders drawn to the back. Inhale the arms up, Fronts of the ribs are moving down, backs of the ribs are moving down. Find that and then bow. You've just created all this space, our whole practice. I know we didn't do a bunch of thigh stretches, but this whole practice was created to move into this forward bend. So move in if you need a bolster, a blanket, extra support. If you'd rather do legs up the wall, that's available too. I know you have to disrupt the flow, but you don't really. It just appears that way. You can still remain centered as you move to a wall. Draw the waistline back wherever you are and bow. 5 breaths here. Exhale out completely, finally. Lulu said it was time. I was there too long. Ground into the earth. Inhale, rise all the way up. You do not have to take your arms overhead like I have been. I'm just realizing the lack of doing it has created a few underdeveloped areas of my being. Sit tall, however you want to sit. We're going to sit with grace. Find length in the spine. Hands at Anjali Mudra at the heart in your lap, whatever is supportive for you. When you acknowledge your wounds, you then create space for grace. When you acknowledge your wounds, you actually recognize that healing is necessary. And when you allow for that healing, then you can also be a healer because you are just the embodiment of that transformation from pain back to peace. Sit with that, sit with your breath. As you say, you're not trying to make anything happen. I have no doubt there's a lot fluctuating within. Be present to your breath. At any time, you can pause for a moment at the top or the bottom of the breath, just for an acceptance of the effort it takes to be present to your own light. Bring the hands together at your own heart. Feel the depth of your breath. Let your fingers tip forward, your palms palms open. Allow your eyes to open, looking into the palms of your own two hands. You're going to slowly come lying down with just that reverence for how profound it can be just when you sit and connect to yourself for whatever reason you're here. I appreciate you being here. I also appreciate the practices that have been handed down, that have been with me for almost 20 years, and that journey is creating my own unfolding as well. And so the gratitude is profound. Rest well into the energy of the earth. Allow for a gracious breath in. Breathing into the space you've connected and awoken. And a gracious breath out. Enjoy the transformation that's even present here as you inhale in and exhale out. That ability for you to become more of yourself. The ability to feel into who you are just as you are in this moment. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. Sway your head from side to side. Stretch your arms long, feet low. Allow for any kind of exhalation. Make some kind of sound. You're going to pinch your knees. Look at Lulu being on cue. Pinch your knees, roll over to one side. And then slowly rise up. I know, it's quite surprising when I actually pause. The space for grace. The wisdom that comes through and the great how. That we're at the end. There's even the yard waste coming a day late to take the debris of of the earth away. The abundance of the trees and the earth. And yes, the overabundance of water at times and fire. And we come back to these resources within, integrating and working with them so we can awaken to our true nature, so that we can see the light in ourselves and see the light within each other, that we can be real, we can be true, and we can be soulfully ourselves, soulfully you. And so it is. Yeah, I'm not even gonna, I'm just gonna let Lulu close us out. Namaste. Thank you for journeying and embarking on this journey with me. Let's see if Lulu really goes for it. She has this cute howl that she does. She has something to say. Probably something along the lines of the abundance of squirrels we have in the backyard. And perhaps she's upset that we're taking the trees away. They're not really taking the trees, right? We have a lot of trees in our backyard. We have a lot of abundance in this little slice of earth that we get to exist upon. So we have a lot of yard waste. I thank you guys so much. I want to conclude sharing that for anybody who has a lot of air energy or earth energy, right? We have the opposing point that this is a practice. I would love to see you reflect on how it felt to be more slow or more solid, and how it felt to really connect with the breath, how moving the body created the space for you to sit and be present. This is just the continuation of the contemplation of our practice, which is really important if we want to live with soul. If you hear the longing of your soul, of your inner wisdom, and this is a practice to connect to that, then I just offer that further contemplation for you. Peace, be well, and may you find something to howl at as into the world, just like Lulu. Ciao.